Alright, welcome to the patch look everybody. I am just loading up Armored Warfare now. It took me about 30 minutes to download it. 40 gigs, sorry, 4 gigs, 2.7 megabytes a second, 40 minutes. Black screen at the moment, game hasn't fully loaded in yet. This may take a couple of seconds, I don't know actually. Hello game? Okay, we're getting something. Any intro? Okay, no intro. Okay then. Right, so new Merkava line and 2 premium tanks, which I believe is the premium Sherman and a Israeli M60 called a Magak. Got some achievements already, that's always good. Warfare up to 100. Alright, let's see. So cool. So let's purchase the Super Sherman. Well, that's new. That looks nice and everything. Okay. Let's have a look at this M50 then. M50 Super Sherman. Comes in its nice little camouflage. Can we camo it? No. Okay, apparently not. Oh well. Right, so Philip, since it's got everything, let's have a look at the modifications first. So, smoke grenades. Comes with smoke grenade stock, can be fired every 3 seconds. Cool. Okay, improved rangefinder. That's nice. 75mm high explosive. 76mm gun. This is a wombat. I think this is taken from an AMX. Stock. Max speed. 9.32 seconds, little buff, 50 horsepower isn't that much. Let's have a look at the overall stats. So it has a sustained DPM stock of 2,500, reload time of 3.48 seconds, penetration of 220, damage, armor is there, vehicle mass of 35 tons, this is a couple of tons heavier than a standard Sherman, 18% camouflage. Let's see how it compare, so it's got the surprisingly least amount of damage, the least penetration, best reload time, highest amount of hit points, hull armor and turret, definitely the slowest but the heaviest, so these two are more of DPM vehicles. This has an 85mm gun and this has an 76 as well. Okay. Protection system. So on the front we have overall 94mm of armor, 80 all the way over there, so that means the other tier ones will be able to penetrate you. Set it back to 100 meters. Auto bounce is nice, so I guess you could angle it at this. Unfortunately, no real help. You do have a pretty nice turret, however. 52 and 57. Turret cheeks. Yeah, this isn't particularly well armoured. I would say everything's going to pen you, but then again, you are a tier 1, so Results may vary. Alright, let's go for the super. The Centurion next. Armored Warfare's first Centurion. We're gonna have a look at this every time, aren't we? Oh, it has early explosive reactive armor. And it looks pretty swanky as well. Right, modification screen. So, Blazer ERA, that is... the first ERA vehicles don't really get up until tier 4. There is one in tier 3, so... I guess this is probably going to help with all the heat rounds flying around. Maybe the missiles as well, I'm not sure, so this is probably going to be a far better setup than the... and it comes with Hesh. Cool. So you are going to be able to do massive trauma damage to just about everything in tier 2, 3, and you should be able to penetrate tier 5, tier 4s as well. So, good luck on you. See there we have Hesh, we have a heat round with 300. I'll say that's pretty swanky as well. Use Philip as well. Cool, so let's... So 210 penetration. I would say don't bother with the heat and go for the Hesh instead. Actually no, take, let's say 20 AP, 4 heat, and then remainder of Hesh, because Hesh is very powerful at lower tiers. Look at that ERA placement as well. I mean, obviously your lower plate is going to be vulnerable as well, but if you get yourself into a hold down position, the only thing your enemy can shoot at is ERA. They might go through the gun map though. Let's see what the stats are like compared to the T55. M48. And let's look at the Super Shinrabe as well. So we have the highest damage, and I think we're also the only ones with Hesh rounds. So straight out of the box we've got the best gun. We have the second highest penetration, decent damage per minute. Remember, this is still a stock crew. High reload time though, stock crew though. Highest amount of hit points, armor, turret, and overall the best vehicle armored frontally, however definitely the slowest. Yeah. And the heaviest as well, 58 tons is a heavy beast. Pretty decent gun depression over the front, minus 10 degrees means you'll be able to use that. Hesh shells and the ERA as well. That is cool. Let's have a look at the armor viewer. Okay, so obviously speaking, the side armor is going to be garbage. Like, just don't even bother. Raised engine deck means that people shooting at you from the front are going to be able to penetrate the engine deck there and there. If they're using heat rounds, the space side armor, see we got there 31 and 54, they'll just shoot at the engine deck instead. Very, very exposed, and presumably the armor rack is probably going to be in there as well. Is there a module view? There is not a module view, but Hesh shelter there will probably kill it. Right, let's have a look at that ERA then, and holy shit, look at all this red. 353mm of armor, plus the ERA all over the front. Lower plate is pretty nice armoured as well, and Christ almighty. Let's fire at this with heat. Okay, heat rounds. Nope. Absolutely no. Okay, let's try a different vehicle. Attacking vehicle, let's say BMP. Right. BMP's heat rounds. Missile rounds of 400mm of penetration. Okay, the ERA is... Think about it, if you're a BMP, you have a very slow missile. 50% of this thing's frontal surfaces is immune to your missiles. I mean, this is actually pretty thick as well. Damn, that is some pretty good armor. Let's bump it up a tier actually. Let's have a look at the... Ooh, what will we try? Let's have a look at the BMP one, for example. Right. BMP one with 430. Still the same. Yeah. Go hold down with this, and those slow fire missiles and heat rounds of your tier are actually going to have to wane. Fucking hell. That is good. See if there's anything down here. Okay, no. Nice. Let's have a look at the Super Shaman next. So, modifications wise, what do we get? This is a premium vehicle though. Improved ready rack speed, smoke grenades. 3 smoke grenades every 3 seconds. That is very decent. You also get a player icon as well. Damage, you only get heat rounds or high explosive. I don't think the high explosive is going to be very useful, but the heat rounds, oh boy, that looks like it could hurt. And then obviously you have probably the same armor as a Shaman. Let me compare this to the standard Shaman. Actually, I have to compare same armor overall. You're a bit faster though, and you're basically twice as better in terms of damage. 8mm more penetration. However, you have a 6-second reload time, which isn't exactly that great, but it's not bad. This definitely looks like more of a sniper variety, although just going off the sheer amount of armor the Centurion has, and also has a better gun with the Hesh shells as well, I would say the Centurion is definitely a better vehicle. Also, look at those swanky ass smoke grenades. I'm actually saying swanky for the first time in my life. Okay. Advanced progress. Blah 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 blah. Let's have a look at the TRN6. Early ERA as well. And please don't. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is actually starting to get annoying. God, can you imagine if you're a streamer like Jingles or something, you come to play Armored Warfare and you've got this popping off every 5 seconds, it'll give you a heart attack. There's a 50 cal on the front. I guess that's one way to have a coaxial. There's 250 cals. Okay. Right. Modifications, let's see what we've got. Blazer ERA again. Cool. Exhaust smoke generator. Basically an exhaust smoke generator is like I think it's like roughly a 180. I'm not sure if it's a complete 360 degrees, but what happens is that you don't aim with the smoke. Instead, it's just fired all around you. So you can't really cover allies with it. But if someone's spotting you from the side, could work. We got a lot of sights. We got some 115mm shells. This is basically a T62. Improved FVS. Improved ready racks. Okay, cool. And we get a transmission as well. Improves it. Do you know what? Where's the T62? Where are you? Do I even... Okay, I don't have a T62. 620 horsepower. Oh, off-road mobility bonus, 54%. That should definitely help. And we get a new commander. Nice. And we also get... What is that? Oh, a test version for the LEV 300. Nice. Once again, advanced progress. So, ERA covered all over the front except for the lower plate. AP rounds, 270 penetration. It's not bad. Take a few high explosive rounds, and the heat rounds look like they are pretty punchy. So let's. I know I don't want to sell it. Let's compare it to the Leopard one, which is the best MBT in its tier. That and let's say the IS-7. So off the back, you have a very high damage, roughly medical penetration, but you'll still be able to penetrate everything in your tier. I'd say the heat rounds is what you're going to look for. Second highest reload time, however, no retrofits. Roughly the same hit points as the Leopard, however, you probably have the second best. Actually, versus AP rounds, I guess your lower play is going to be pretty ineffective, but that ERA should definitely help versus armor piercing rounds and definitely versus heat. all of this is kind of meh, generally speaking, and your gun depression is, well, Mother is disappointed. But obviously we're all here for the armor viewing, so let's have a look on a calculator. Right, that is, fuck me. Wow, look at that turret. This is like the Centurion on steroids. Like, the lower plate is green, so the Centurion has a better lower plate, but look at all of this armor. This is very decent. 88mm of armor, so autocannons can pen. If you're going to be using autocannons, pen either there for the engine deck or there for where the ammo rack is. Wow. Let's do that. Okay, so the best heat shells in its tier is the Leopard 1. So if I'm facing at this via Leopard 1, where am I shooting? Okay, lower plate. I could maybe penetrate that with a Leopard 1. The problem is that is a very dicey shot there. So basically, my Leopard would have a very tough time with this thing frontally, and that bit there. That's going to be quite trollish. So let's have a look at the missiles. So the T-62M has 600 pen of heat with its missiles. Literally the best heat, and wow. So even against tier 6 missiles, well, tier 5 and 6 missiles roughly, you get hull down with this thing and they're going to have a pretty hard time. Your turret top, however, could bounce. However, you have a lot of, as you can see around here on the armor viewer, you have a lot of extra additions that may cause people to maybe fire at them and miss. So overall, this is a very heavily armored tank. That's actually pretty cool. Right, let's have a look at what's next. Magak 5. Why is the T-72 there? Whose vehicle line am I at? Oh, cool. So you get a link to Shishkin's vehicles as well. Right, let's purchase you. Okay, this is starting to get a little old now, just saying. Heavy armor, fast XP, and enhanced accuracy. So we get our first M60. For reference purposes, this is an M60A1. This is the Magak. M60A1, Magak. So the M61 has a slightly bigger armor profile. Okay, 105mm, 105mm. What M60 is this though? Because that's an M60A1, or is this an M48? Info isn't ready. Oh, it's an M48A5. The tier 4? Really? Wow. Are you sure about this, Israel? Oh. Israel is definitely sure about that. Okay. Blazer ERA? Well, going on by the Centurion and the T-62, this could be pretty good versus missile and heat rounds. And heat rounds are the meta of like tier 2 to 6. So you should actually be pretty protected. We have thermal sights, which is good. HEP rounds, which are basically the American version of HESH. So you will do some pretty good module damage to lightly armored vehicles, such as the BMPs. And we have a ready rack, and improved ready racks as well. So reload speed increased by 10%. Cool, and then improved transmission. Better traverse speed, I like that. And then we have an upgraded engine with a very slight buff. Wow, that looks different. Kind of looks like a mouth there, like it's going to eat me alive. This tank scares me. Okie dokie. So we only have AP rounds and HAP. So we'll load that. Let's have a look what this does versus everything else. So I'm not going to bother comparing it to the T-64 because the T-64 is ridiculously overpowered at this point. So, and then a tank destroyer as well. Wow, that's a good amount of damage. 420 penetration, second highest penetration. That's a pretty decent amount of DPM. Same for the reload speed as well. Hit points, second highest hit points. Best armor because of the ERA. The Chieftain has no armor whatsoever. It's an M60, well, M48, so it's pretty slow. Worst camouflage. The turret traverse speed is actually pretty nifty. Okay, cool. Right, let's have a look at that armor viewer. Alrighty then. So even with the help of the ERA, yeah. This is a very, very, very weak lower plate. Look at that, and it's big as well. So turret ring, lower plate. That's about it, really. I'm gonna say that its armor profile for its tier is gonna be worse than the previous two, because of that lower plate and the fact that the turret ring is very, very wide open. Look at that there. It's basically like a straight shot. You could aim right in the middle of the vehicle and penetrate it. So that's going to be a downside for me. It's also got a very big engine deck as well. As you can see there, if you're going to be using an autocannon or heat rounds, you could aim for their high explosive shells as well. And as you can see, stock armor, well, you're basically boned. Let's aim at this thing with 2-4. So the biggest guns you're going to go up against is the T-64. Okay, so T-64 is going to be pretty screwed against you. Unless he's aiming for your lower plate. You see, it's that massive lower plate that's letting you down, but heat rounds wise, so you're pretty well protected versus heat rounds and possibly missiles of your own tier, but AP rounds will butter you alive. 300 or more millimeters of penetration is going to go straight through that lower plate, and there is no way you can hide it. Ouch. Let's try missiles. The T-62M is kind of a benchmark for missiles at the moment, so yeah, I'm going to say missile vehicles might have a difficult time as well, simply because if this thing is moving, you only have a couple of spots to aim for. But side-on, yeah, look at that. Not going to help. Side-on, you've got this entire part of the tank here to aim at. It's not great. Yeah, so the armor's a little bit of a letdown, but yeah, you have a nice protection versus heat rounds though, so you're going to have to face frontally versus everything, and my advice would be to keep moving, because of that. If someone, you can see how big that area is now, no protection there whatsoever. A Chieftain's Hess shell is going to really, really hurt if he hits you. So hold down, turret only is probably a good bet. But you do have some decent one-shot protection there versus heat shells and missiles, but after that, you're going to be butchered. Right, let's see what we've got next. Wrong one, I'm going to do it, holy shit. Excuse me, I thought I had it already unlocked. I do want to advance you. So we have the Magak and the Merkava next. Let's do the ready Merkava. Access to rentable vehicles. Access to rentable vehicles. Cool. Right. So we'll do the Magak first, and then we'll do the Merkava. Kind Kind of reminds me of a Mad Max style vehicle when you think about it. And I wanted to do the Merkava. Why does its turret look so small? It's like a really buff guy with a small head. Oh, that creeps me out. Anyway, you know the command Daleks in Doctor Who with the huge heads with like spikes and antennas going out of them? It kind of reminds me of that. Why do you have 3 machine guns? Why didn't they have this in Mad Max? Jesus Christ. The Israelis went, okay, so I want some explosive reactive armor and I want applique armor, and I don't care how slow this thing goes because I'm going to be fighting battleships with it. Alrighty. Okay, so stock, you already have applique, and then... Good God. Even more grenades. Okay, and yep. Same deal, armor piercing, heat rounds. Cool. Reduce aim time. And then you improve ready racks, you get an increase to your reload speed. That's cool. Upgrade you a bit, and we get some more camouflage as well. Cool. Alrighty then. So let's have a look what you look like. And oh, there isn't much of a difference. Did I apply it? Oh, you get extra side armor. Look at that. We'll have to apply that in the armor inspector. So you have 400 pen AP rounds. 450 pen heat, and some high explosive rounds as well. I'm going to say this is when HEP rounds start to slowly be phased out. The increase of armor on vehicles can get a little bit iffy, so you're probably going to want to use a majority armor piercing here on your Dalek. Exterminate. Alright, let's compare it to the M60A1, the Leopard, and the Chieftain. So, Leopard has the best gun overall, but then again it doesn't really have anything else that's permissible. Reload time is probably going to go around to about 7 seconds once you apply retrofits and everything. You have a pretty decent chunk of hit points though, and you have the best armor here thanks to the applique and ERA. Roughly the same stats as the M60A3 when you get the retrofits on and everything. And you have some pretty solid aim time as well. So overall this looks to be pretty solid. Except for the looks. This thing creeps me out. Let's have a look at the armor calculator. So, and holy shit. Okay, let's just see what it looks like. So, stock. So you get about roughly an extra 80mm of armor of that side armor. So, steel 42, 84, just 84, and that's what the ammo rack is. That's great. Loader, breach. Right, so it doesn't really matter here. So versus its own AP rounds, you have a lot of protection here, except for this part. This part is going to be a HESH magnet missile and heat rounds as well, and I don't think you can really avoid it. And also it shames from the usual large engine deck weakness in which high explosive rounds are going to go in there. However, you have explosive reactive armor there. That means that people aiming for the top of your turret to do high explosive Hesh missile damage, you're going to have a difficult time, at least for the first time, so you have some warning there. You also have armored sides as well, and this is just versus armor piercing rounds. Let's see what its own heat rounds will do. Yeah. However, notable gap in the armor there. So heat rounds, you're gonna have to blow off some holes in this thing. The engine deck is pretty susceptible though, and this is just heat rounds with 450mm of penetration. Things with like, I don't know, let's fire up something with a little more punch here. Let's go for the let's go for a Fox maybe. So a Fox using its Milans are gonna butter you. So unfortunately it looks like tier 6 missiles with 700mm or more pen are gonna go straight through you. However, your turret is still relatively safe, so hold down. I'm pretty sure you just have so much armor here that you're fine, but this part is going to be your major weak spot, just like the tank before you. Definitely a noticeable trend here. Okay, let's have a look at the Merkava. Why is the turret so small? God, it's... oh, it turns me. Okay, you have a 105mm gun like everything else, and you have a Spore Liner. So you have an increase in hit points, and then you have an improved armor as well. Oh. Not sure if that will help though. You have a laser rangefinder. Cool. And an improved fire control system. So you don't really have that much in the way of firepower upgrades like everyone else. You don't really have a fire suppression system. That is very swanky. Although, if you have a fire extinguisher kit, well, you're gonna take the fire out anyway, so I'm not particularly sure what help that's gonna be. You have an improved suspension, improved handling on rough terrain. That right there is good. And you have improved transmission as well. However, you are still very slow. Okay. So let's see how it compares to the Magak. The Magak has vastly better penetration, but that's probably because I haven't even switched on the... oh, it does have better penetration. Huh. That's interesting. So the Magak has better damage and penetration and the worse DPM, however this has a reload time because this comes with a ready rack. Okay, it comes with a 4-round ready rack. That's its saving grace right there. You can track someone, damage them, track them, damage them again. The Magak is obviously a lot faster because it's a lot lighter. It's what, 8 tons lighter. You have better hold reverse speed though, but I'm going to say the Magak is definitely a lot faster than this. Okay, so I want to see what that armor upgrade actually does. So, stock armor, improved armor. So your improved armor gives you those bells and whistles over the front. Cool. Straight off, you have a very heavily armored front turret and relatively decent side armor versus yourself. However, turret ring, that's pretty big. And please tell me, you can be penetrated through there. I hope that doesn't go for, I hope that's a, this is a thing on the Ariete pre 2.0 in which you could pen the gunner sight for damage. I hope that is a minor damage thing, because if not, that would be awkward. So, things with the highest penetration in their tier is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the T64. So, T64 with 380 a pen, yeah, giant lower plate. Let's try the Chieftain. Yeah, giant lower plate. Is there anything sitting behind it though? No. Yeah, this is where the good times is probably going to start ending. Your lower plate is huge. Tier 6s are going to butter you, and high end 120, 125mm guns are going to go straight through you as well. However, they may be a saving grip. Really? Hair shells? I want to see if this has the same armor profile that... Wow, this gets even worse for missiles. Look, because then that part opens up and that's where the engine and gas tank is. Okay, so I don't think you have the ridiculous side armor that the premium Merkava does. Ow. This, Okay, I'm gonna go with the Magak on this one. Unless there's some amazing saving grace about the Merc with the Ready Rack, the Magak with its heavier armor and better gun is probably gonna win this one out. It's pretty sad when you think about it. Oh well. Sorry, Israel. The first Merkavas were supposed to be bad, and now we know why. We have a new Magak 7C as well. Tier 6 main barrel tank. And it's green! Woo! Green. Let's just go back to the Merkava on this one, because is there another Merkava at tier 6? There is! There's a Merkava 2C. Oh, we would get a Zweihander decal as well. Nice. First Order Ready Rack. Oh, are we Star Wars? Okay, so let's have a look at you, and you already have a very nice looking tank. Very nice. Okay. This is good. Let's take a look. So overall we have no armor upgrade, however fixed angle mounted, redesigned wedge shaped passive gun sweet. And smoke grenades. Well, smoke grenades are always nice. But I just realised you can use the enter button instead of, you know, doing everything else. Improve ready racks, so blah. Blah 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 blah. Transmission increases vehicles hold reverse. Cool. And you have a pretty nice top speed as well. 900 hit points. And then finally you have another camouflage net. Okay. So let's take a look at the gun. So 500mm of penetration. Nice. However, I don't think it's anything to write home about, especially with the increased amount of everything that's going to happen here. How to compare to the M1 Abrams, the Chieftain. These are going to be your main opponents here, and the T-80B. So very nice penetration here, 500mm, better than everything else here. However, I believe the Type 90 still has a better damage, has a better gun, pretty nice DPM stock, a very good reload, 6.5 seconds, that's what I like to see. Good armor altogether. I'm pretty sure you probably be a better armored than Abrams, however, slow top speed and slowish 0 to 32. Not really that slow, and you 5 meters more of view range, which quickie baby, 5 meters more doesn't fucking matter. Okay. That's pretty decent. I would play this. I think I could play this and have fun. And I believe there's a sort of premium Sabre at tier 6 as well. Cool. Right, let's purchase you before I forget about you. Is that the same tank? I don't know. Okay. Oh baby, that sure is something. Okay, so okay, 500mm of pen. Your upper plate is still solid, so is this part here. Yeah, this is the second highest penning gun of its tier, and so far it stands up to itself. Hold down. I guess somebody maybe could pen you there. However, a difficult turret, a difficult place if you're above it and below it. Unfortunately, I can't go below. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's pretty nice. Like I said before, engine deck. It's something that's not great. Let's see, tier 6. We're on tier 6 now. What can I use for tier 6? Let's use the Fox again. Okay, the Fox is Milan's, and fuck me. Might not go through all the time. Side armor as well. But then again, you're an M60. M60s were never really known for their side armor. They had pretty decent front armor though when they had ERA. And look at all that space armor. I would say spaced armor, but that could really mess up somebody's day. And do you have ERA? Okay. You don't have explosive reactive armor here though, so high explosive rounds, aim for that. Okay. Have a quick look at the other Magak though, what's the difference? Less pen. Okay, this looks like it's basically a stock version of this. Yeah. Okay, well if you want another Magak, I'd say go for it. Okay, actually just before I forget, the Leopard 2AV got a second gun. I just need to find out where I put it. Leopard. Where is it? German vehicle. Okay, that's why. Okay, so the Leopard 2AV got a 120mm gun, which has 530 pen, so probably going to go for the best gun in tier 6 maybe. I swear I had an ice version of it lying around somewhere. No. No, okay. The turret still looks a little bit weird. Just saying. Side armor. High explosive rounds may have difficulty. Let's have a look. Okay, Spore Liner. It's nice to know. We have smoke grenades too. Improved FPS, FCS. Time increases the route. Really, I don't think that's going to be really that much of a difference. 440mm of penetration, so the Magak has a better gun. However, you have a ready rack. This looks like it is very much a repeat of the previous Magak and Merkava here. See how you stack up. So you have 4.0mm of penetration. Let's compare you, and the Abrams. So 450 damage, 460, 450, 440, 460, 500, 500. Highest DPM here thanks to the ready rack. However, your reload time is definitely the highest, and I don't think any amount of retrofits is going to help save you there. You do have a very chunky amount of hit points, so you can last a while. Turret. I very much doubt anything's going to go for your turret, and like the Abrams, you can get buttered by everything. Heaviest vehicle as well, 62 tons. Not exactly very good gun depression though. stats there. Okay. That depresses me slightly. Armor calculator. Huh. So if you're above this thing, look at that. That is very telling. And the engine is... Huh. Right, versus its own shells, it's basically impenetrable to itself frontally, except for that very slim thing there. Its own heat is impenetrable as well, however, side armor, maybe. You could maybe angle this, but that is a very low armor tank. Okay, well, let's see about that. We'll have to 2A5 with the 120. Okay, even the best gun in your tier is going to pen you frontally. Shit, man. That is a very, 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 very well frontally armored. However, weak spot right there. And I'm betting that engine could be penetrated from there as well. Don't quote me on that. Nice level plate though, but it looks like we have the same frontal weak spot in the Merkavas. It does. Huh. It is very telling. Very, very telling indeed. Okay. Right. Next here we have the Merkava 3 DAS. Okay, they both go to the Merkava now. Okay. So I think this is the end of the dual purpose line. Heavy armor, high caliber weaponry, increased durability. I didn't know. Ah, finally we have a turret that's not fat. Skinny, sorry. Okay, that's the end of the multiple vehicles. So we don't have a tier 7. So I want to show you that weak spot on the Merkava I was talking about. I was thinking that... Okay, where is it? Fire at it with a... most of the time I either face these things or in the T80, so let's use that. Yeah, I remember there was that little bit there that caused a lot of engine fires. Yeah, that might be a telling weak spot of the Merkava series. We'll have to look at them all though. Merkava is... there we go. And dear God, that is a lot of machine guns. Are you expecting to roll this thing into the enemy? Ooh, trophy APS. Knocks down guided missiles and some other projectiles, does not require activation. Cool. And the Spore Liner, which gives more hit points. Okay. Smoke grenade, blah 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 blah. It's a smoke grenade, improved thermal sights. That is far more, going to be far more interesting than that, because that basically reduces the camouflage of bushes by 30%. If you didn't have to buy that on the way to get this, I would say not get it. LHATs are also self-guided missiles, I believe. Self-homing, yes they are, and you get a reduction of aim time, nice. And heat rounds, and LHAT missiles. Okay, so you have missiles for gun depression. We get another commander, and we get a desert. And you also get the ability to buy the PLZ 105, which... it's an artillery piece. Fuck artillery. Reduced handling, well, improved handling on rough terrain, that is very good. And improved If it was 5%, I'd say get it, but 2% really isn't that much of a big deal. However, Victor does buff the crew heavily with his stats here. As you can see here, he gives a 1.8% increase, so that's more like a 3.8 now. It's not that particularly useful. Right, so now we're on to the big boy, and we get 700mm penetration with that 800mm pen missile, and some nice little heat rounds as well. I'm gonna say load a good bunch of missiles here. You already can be firing them in pack of 3, so fire them there. Right, let's have a look. Compare. You have a 120, cool. Compared to the Abrams, Leopard, Ariete. Right. So 518 lowest damage. However, you have the best brawler gun out of all of them, because I do have access to a ready rack one. Can you ready rack things? You can. Right, so you can do 500, 500, 500, so you can do 2000 damage to all of these guys. You have the most hit points. They have all composite armor, so do you, although you probably have better armor than the Abrams. Definitely the heaviest, so you're the slowest out of all of them as well. Same view range, gun depression, meh, but you have missiles and they don't. And pretty meh turret reverse as well, so 700 penetration, pretty standard. Right. Let's have a look at the armor inspector. Wow, there is a lot of boxes that just won't do anything. APS, 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 APS. You have quite a bit of armor there. High explosive damage to turret again if you're on top, but if you're attempting to do high explosive from the front, yeah, forget about it. However, you have a very telling lower plate there, look at it. 700 pen? That is not very effective. Okay, let's try a T-72B3. $720 pen. Yeah, that's not good at all. And then let's also try the Leopard 2A5 with its monstrous 800. Yeah, your lower plate hide that thing. Although, nicely, you don't have the same weak spot that the Tier 7 Merkava does. However, this is a problem with the Leopard series, thanks to their kind of like step in the armor at the front. Once you get above the Merkavas, yeah, you've got that side strip suddenly opening up, and that bit as well. So note to self: always be on level ground, and it doesn't get better there. Okay, let's have a look at missiles. Let's choose the Bradley for this one. Tow missiles, lower plate as well, and even if you try to hide that, that area opens up. However, look at that, 261. Even the standard AP rounds for Bradley at 140 is going to struggle to go through that bit there, and if you angle like this, it's not going to be able to get you. However, you have that thin strip there. But 160 pen, definitely going to go through there, and right there is your ammo rack. So don't let people hit you in the butt. Wow. It's very interesting to say the least, and once again I forgot to upgrade to the next one. Right, we have the Tier 9 Merkava next. 400,000 XP, 18 million heavy armor, blah 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 blah. I purchased a vehicle! Yay! Oh, get 100% credit boost, and that looks suspiciously different to the last one. Is this? Huh. It feels slimmer. I think it's gone to the gym. And that has the telltale signs of applique armor. Alright, let's have a look at the modifications. So, Spore Liner, increased vehicle hit points. You come pre-installed with a trophy APS. That's as good. You have some smoke grenades. So out of the bat, you are almost fully upgraded. Look. And you have a fire suppression system, which I don't think that's going to be particularly helpful, but you do have a troop compartment. A repair rate increased by 25% while stopped. So basically, that gives you a free repair kit. So, normally speaking, you would go for a improved gun breech, filter systems, and repair kit. But you already have one, so you could go for maybe an MRS, a control unit, that's a nice little retrofit, or maybe another survivability gear if you're playing PvE. In terms of ammo and everything here, at this point missiles aren't going to be of much use, so I'd say you load 6 of them, rack of heat rounds. I'll say load 2 racks of each, and then you're going to go there because you have a intra-clip time of 3 seconds. So after you fire your first shell, it'll then take 9 seconds to pop the entire load. Can't believe I said that. Okay, so T90MS, M1A2, Leopard, and Charlie. So this feels kind of like the same deal for the for the premium Merkava that you've been firing at for a while. Lowest damage and penetration, however, ready rack. However, the T90MS with the 6.8 second reload is going to be a problem. It's low to the ground, it's got ERA. The M1A2, I'm pretty sure you can pen it frontally, same for Leopard 2A6, don't bother with the Challenger though. Hit points wise, you have probably the best turret out of anyone here. And you also have the most hit points as well. However, the Challenger is 10 tons heavier, but you have more hit points, okay. However, your hull traverse, I'm going to say that retrofit for hull traverse as well as the driver 20% minus 20% terrain resistance is probably going to come in handy, and you have pretty decent view range. Gun depression wise, you have the best gun depression over the back, however that's not really that much of an issue. So you may need to use those missiles for help. Okay, armor viewer. Let's see what's going on with you, and holy shit, hello. 700mm level plate, 1,300 armor there, 1,500 there. Your turret, I don't think is going to be able to be penetrated by anyone. Holy shit, that is a lot of armor. Okay. Let's try the Leopard 2. Okay. This pretty much has a tier 10 gun. Lower plate, okay, that's more like it. However, upper plate is still very, very powerful. Challenger 2. Same deal here. Yellow. Pretty neat. Centauro. 720, yellow. Pretty garbage side armor though, look at it. Might be of use versus heat mounts though. Why are you green? I don't understand. Okay, well let's trust the armor inspector. M1A2, same deal really. Yellow. And last but not least, the T90MS, which is there. Also, green. So, the T90MS is probably going to be your most difficult foe to defeat, along with the Type 99A2. The Type 99A2 has very powerful front armor, but the T90MS and Leopard are really the only vehicles that can actually go through you. That is interesting, to say the least. Okay, on to the last one. Merkava 4M. Heavy armor, high caliber weaponry, modern APS, self-homing, and first order ready rack. No clue what a first order ready rack means though. Barack. Hello beautiful, how are you today? Righty ho, let's look at the modifications. So, Spore-liner, trophy APS, even more trophy, knocks down guided missiles and some other projectiles. Protection from projectiles with a caliber of 100mm or more. Cool. So you could potentially block other AP shells. Smoke grenades, yada yada yada. And you don't really have that much in the way of firepower retrofits, most of it seems to be based in the armor. I remember Silent Stalker telling me that the Merkava 4's main armor will be in the APS. Decent penetration though. Improved drive sprockets. And it looks like they are automatically unlocked, are they? Cool. Yeah, maybe, but no. And last but not least, additional retrofit slot, a sword, and more camo. Nice. Righty ho. Why don't you have better missiles though? 800mm is not good at tier 10. So majority AP, I'm gonna say some missiles and a couple of heat shells, but don't think those missiles are really gonna help. Okay, I have to compare Hilo 1, T14 Armada, Type 19A2, XM1A3, and of course the Leopard 2AX. So right there we have the lowest damage, same penetration as the A2 and the XM1A3, pretty low DPM, however you have that ready rack. The Armata, the 99A2 and the XM1A3 will butcher you while you're reloading, however you have a very decent chunk of hit points. Do you have more hit points than Challenger though? You do! Okay, turret, impenetrable turret. Slowest. Camouflage is a bit shit. Nice view range though. And the same gun depression problems that the other Merkavas do. Okay. Let's have a look at that protection system though. So, versus yourself, you have a 47% chance to pen yourself frontally. Apart from that, that's it. You could go through the turret ring, but a bit awkward. Side armor will not help at all. Let's see. Let's see versus the biggest missiles in game, which is the T15. Can the T15 pen you frontally? No. Maybe. Don't show your side. It's gonna kill you. Okay. What about the Leopard? The Leopard with 900mm, the pen can go through your lower plate. However, the XM1A3, the Poland Ball, K21, Wilk, and the Type 99A2 cannot. So I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be the Leopard, the Armada 152, maybe the 140. Yeah, that'll go through, and so will. So the vehicles that continue frontally will be the Leopard 2, 152, Armada, and the Type 99A2 140. Cool. Okay. Let's see what these camouflages look like. So we have some nice camouflage there. Let's see. Desert Wind. Ooh. Soul Cyber. Okay. Also have some Israeli camo as well, which gives you some better paint. Desert camouflage. Other desert camouflage. And finally we have this one. So light shades. And you also come in blue. Cool. Well, I will be playing the line tomorrow at 7 PM GMT or 8 PM European Standard Time. If you would like to join, be on there. I'm going to play these vehicles for a little bit while I'm in PvE and get out any initial impressions. But for now, that is the stats, that is what they look like, that is the new camouflage. And I just remembered there's also some new commanders. I think. Rachel. Rachel, off-road, tread hit points, no deaths, no units, definitely explosives. Cool. Anti-material explosives, so this is weird. I don't know what to think of her actually. She looks to be a Merkava-based crewman, but I mean the anti-material explosives are great, but seems to be a little. She's quite pretty though. Okay, we have her, and then we also have him as well. Crew stats improved when hits of 150 more damage. Is made for bouncing. No deaths. Giant killer. Counter attack. No deaths. Giant killer. Cool. Okay, at most you get a 4% reload, which isn't that much. So I would say initially you want to go down there, and then no deaths, counter attack, missile approach warning, that could be okay. I think this guy is purpose built for the Merkava line. I'm not really sure what to think of him actually. They seem to have a lot of abilities, but a lot of them are scattered around, so you can't really get as many of them as you want to. I mean, compare this to, say, Juan. Look at that. Okay, that's everything in this patch. There's 2 more premium commanders to do, but I won't cover them until next time. So take care everyone, see you all tomorrow, and I hope you have fun. Goodbye, and see you next time.